What is going on, Pro Guides? How are you guys doing? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tony Chow. I'm also known as Saskio. You guys may know me as the guy that played Yumi and Draven all the way to Platinum, or you might know me as the random collegiate guy who plays in collegiate. Either way, it doesn't matter. We're going to go into today learning about support. I'm going to cover how to climb a support, how to impact the lane, and how to roam the map. So let's hop right into it. Just keep in mind, I want to point out that my Wi-Fi is running up and down, so I could jump in and out. We don't know. Let's hop right into it anyways. Filipino? No, I am Vietnamese and Cambodian and Chinese. What's up, James lad? How you doing? And as you can see here, I click start game, and it took a while to get in there. Alright, we're going to lock in Pike. I'm just going to roam around the map and show you guys how to impact. So let's hop right into it. I guess it's just set the right runes and masteries. On Pike, you can go Font of Life. Just keep that in mind. Either or works. And this is like a general rune page that you run on Pike if you're playing support. Bard, please. Bard is actually a very similar champion to Pike, where they can circumvent the steps of push, vision, push, execute, and just go straight to vision, because their champions are so slippery and mobile that they can do just that. So let's go into here. Boom. What about electrocute Pike? You can run that maybe mid lane, but I think mid lane you run Hail of Blades. But personally, on support, I'd rather have Aftershock always, no matter what. Why not Ultimate Hunter as secondary? I value the mana on Pike, and I value the tenacity that you get from Legend Tenacity. Alright, so I'm going to grab a couple items. Boots and Mobility. In this case, I'm just going to grab a team map because I want to push the wave later, but an average build on Pike would look like Boots and Mobility, obviously your Targon. You would grab Umbral Glaive so that you can kill wards much faster. And yeah, alright. Let's grab a couple pink wards. Alright. So I'm going to do a quick review of what we discussed yesterday on support during the early laning phase. So early on, when you come out of base before the game even starts, like before 1:30, you want the AD carry to generally stand in the tri-bush. And then as the support, you would normally stand right here. You don't want to stand here because you've probably seen it before. Blitzcranks will throw hooks over. Morganas will chuck binds over. So when you stand here, you will see the people coming in. And when they come in, you obviously just run away. And you can pop a ward down as you run away. And if they flash after you, you can obviously juke it, or you can just flash it, either or. So that's just like basic level 1 stuff. So obviously you'll leash. After you're done leashing your jungler, you're going to head bot lane. So you're going to head bot lane. So right off the bat, when you get to lane as the support, let's just say Pike in this case, you want to Targon your AD carry right away. I know they changed it so Targon can stack up to 3, but you generally just want to Targon 1 right off the bat. So it helps your AD carry get the slight push going, and you can get potential control of the lane so that you can level 2 cheese the enemy team. But once you Targon the first minion, you want to instantly dip into this bush right here. Exactly right here. If you're on blue side. If you're on red side, you sit right here. Right away. On Bard, on Brand, it doesn't matter, on any champion. Your objective of sitting in this bush is to get the enemy to ward that bush so that you can take a ward away from them. And obviously if they don't ward it, that's even greater, because they're going to play really safe and they have no clue where you are in the bush. They have to assume that you're standing right here, where in reality, you're standing right here. And then they'll fire abilities into it, things of that nature. They're basically just using up resources to check where you are. And then obviously if they never check, you can just walk up and just fire a hook. And you get a chance at landing a hook. But the main thing I want to get to here is the level 2 cheese. So I'm going to go back. Let's grab our Boots Mobility, Umbral Glaive, no, not Umbral Glaive, and Tiamat. So I'm going to go back. So that's what you want to look to do early on. You want to get into the brush and start pressuring the lane. If they ward it, you can back off into this brush right here, the defensive brush. Or you can just chill around and walk around here to pressure the lane in general. But the most important thing is the level 2 cheese. This is a very classic, easy one. You've probably seen it on every single champion. But Pyke does a very good job of it, actually. So let's go into it. So I'm not going to impact the wave too much. I'm just going to hit it once and just speed it up. Alright. Alright, so 3 minions have gone down. That's the 4th one. But the point is on the 9th minion, which is the second wave, right? After 3 melee minions die, you want to be posturing up on the enemy team. So let's say that mage minion right there is the 9th minion. You want to be posturing up on the enemy team. Let's say that the enemies that control that ward, right? Before you're even level 2, as that melee minion's going down, you want to channel up your hook and just fire at them. If you land it, you'll E and they will flash and you back off. This is a very standard one. Just always be looking to do this in your games no matter what champion you're playing. Even if you're playing Lulu, even if you're playing Janna, you want to look to do this so that you can get the pressure in the lane and you get the cheese damage off and you have control of the lane for the rest of the game basically. Forcing the enemy team to call the jungler down, which may or may not be good, but you're basically exerting pressure so that they have to do something about it. So that was just a quick recap of what I discussed yesterday on how to impact the lane as support. Let's discuss general warding that you want to look to do during the early laning phase. Then I'll transition to the mid game, talking about dragon wards, talking about baron wards, and even later game wards. So let's start with early game wards. What if you're playing Tahm Kench? Oh, Tahm Kench is gonna slap at level 2. If you walk up and auto Q someone, and then auto them again and pick them up, they are dead. Tahm Kench is actually one of the strongest level 2 cheeses if the enemy team disrespects it. Sona, Sona is not the best in the world, but you can do it to some degree for that level 2 cheese. Any tips for Rakan's versatility? Well, for Rakan, if you're not playing Xayah, you'll probably start Q level 1, so you're gonna poke them early on. But transitioning to level 2, you can obviously just look to W in. Alcove tricks? Not a fan of the alcove. I don't have any tricks because that, if you dip yourself into the alcove, your positioning isn't really that great to do any of that stuff for level 2. But maybe later on, like level 5, if 80 carries are out of position, you can look to do that. You think that Lux can still be support? Yep, she's pretty good. Alright, but back on track. So let's discuss when you should be roaming on support and then how to roam properly. So, because this is a question that I get a lot from people about the support role. So, the most important thing when you reset as support, right? You reset as support, you bought your items, you got a pink ward, maybe it boosts mobility. Do I roam or do I go bot lane? So, the first thing you always want to look at is bot lane wave and mid lane wave. So look at bot lane wave. If this is your wave in bot lane though, you screwed up. But anyways, look at the bot lane wave. If the bot lane wave is pushing towards your guys' slide slowly, so basically it means that their minion wave will be bigger than yours, so no matter what happens, the minion wave will come to your tower. You can roam. You have the timer before you need to get to bot lane to save your AD carry from a potential dive. You need to make up this number in your head. Okay, it looks like it's going to be roughly like 17 seconds before it hits my tower. So then you have that amount of timer to roam. So then from the base, you would leave and you would move towards this area right here. Right here, same as red side. As red side, you would move towards this area right here. This area is very important for early game dragon control. You'll notice a lot of supports in competitive gameplay. Move to this area right away. Once you move to this area, you can look to place wards accordingly. So obviously you can place wards here. You can place wards here. Has the live been interrupted? Can you tell me about Salas 4? I don't think Salas 4 is that great, I'll be quite honest. But the point is You have 17 seconds if you establish that in your head. So let's go this wave, right? This wave is clearly going to crash towards my team. So this is probably about, I would say 30 seconds, because this wave is going to crash the wave too. So you would tell your AD carry, play safe, don't walk up. Just literally do not walk up. You'll get your wards out, and if mid looks like it's gankable, you would move mid lane. You would move mid lane, and then try to pop your gank in. Try to kill the mid laner, and then the second you kill the mid laner or get a flash or something, or it doesn't work out, you instantly run bot lane. You want to get to bot lane before the wave hits your tower, so that your AD carry can be saved. And then you can also catch the wave with the AD carry and get your EXP up. So that's when to roam and how to roam properly. The next one is, let's say you reset, right? But the minion wave is pushing towards the enemy team. This one's very obvious. You cannot roam. Because let's say the minion wave is stacking right here, right? And it's pushing towards the enemy team, then you have to head bot lane. Because if you roam mid, your AD carry can never walk up when the wave meets around this area right here. Because if he walks up, you're not there. He's just going to die. So all you need to do is head bottom lane, take advantage of the big wave, and push it out. You don't have to literally hit the wave with your AD carry, but the general idea is just want to push it out the wave because it's already pushing towards the enemy team. Once you push it out, you apply the steps I talked about in my lesson yesterday. Push, vision, push, execute. Where, since the wave's already pushing, let's just push it in this case. This is why I bought a T-Mat, by the way, for this custom. So like this wave, right? Let's say you're coming off fresh off reset. You cannot go mid lane. But if you do decide to go mid lane, all you can do is place this ward and then instantly run bot to help your AD carry push out the wave. But once you get bot lane, you and your AD carry, let's say you guys push. Let's speed this up. So you guys would push. And then now you just apply push, vision, push, execute, where it's push, and then you go get vision in the enemy jungle. Very common placements would be over here. You can control ward right here, or you can ward over this wall. And once you establish those two wards, you can go back bot lane and do whatever you want. Whether you want to push out the wave, and then send Pyke mid lane, whether you want your AD carry to hit tower. You can basically just freely do whatever you want, and that's the setup that you're looking to go for. So that's early game vision on like blue side. For red side, it's very similar. You would just do the exact same steps, but your wards would look a little bit different. You'd still obviously want to control this this bush as red side, but your deeper wards are probably going to look somewhere in here. And if you can somehow get all the way here, this one would be really good. Onto the red buff area. So those are the wards that you want to look to place on red side if you have that much control over your lane. Alright, so that's enough about early game support vision. Let's answer a couple questions in the chat. Where should we put a ward at the start of the game? You don't want to put a ward at the start of the game, but if you do, it's generally this one for the jungler. So let's say the jungler, your blue side, right? Your jungler starting red buff. This is your jungler warding, by the way, not you. But you generally want to ward here, because that ward will spot Jarvan's doing red, or Kindred doing red, and instantly hopping over the Herald wall to steal blue buff, and then walk away. And then the ward will potentially see them crossing through here, and entering this area right here. You get to see them for 1 second as they enter to try to steal the blue buff. So that's the ward that your jungler wants to place, not you. But early on, I don't see a ward being like that important to place, aside from the bottom lane brush. Like, let's say you're playing Nami, Janna, Lulu, something like that. Yeah, and you're controlling this bush right here, right? You want to place a ward here and just like attack the enemy support and just control that bush. Force them to ward this bush back, and if they do, obviously poke them. You get one rotation of poke early on because they can't see you from that bush. So that's the only wards I really see being placed early on by support, is this one. And you don't want to place this one when you're playing Pyke, because you don't need to. But for enchanters, that's a pretty good ward to place early on. Yeah, so your Sona main, that one's a good one. If you're blue side, you dip into this bush, see if they ward it. If they don't, you can walk up and ward this bush, and then force the enemy support out of that bush, because you'll Q them, and then they'll walk away. Same as red side, you'll dip into this bush, and then look to ward this area right here. Opinion on Bard support right now. Bard support is really good for solo queue. He has the mixture of enchanting support while having like the capabilities of Pike to be able to ward because of your slipperiness from your E and your Q stun and your W movement speed. You basically all your abilities. Alright. So that's all about the early game support warding. Let's discuss mid game dragon warding and let's talk about Baron warding, which is going to be the big one later. So when it comes to warding in the mid game, the most important thing is understanding if your champion can ward and you guys have the ability to do so. So now it goes back to the logic I was talking about in yesterday's lesson and today too. Push, vision, push, execute. So if you guys weren't here yesterday, push, vision, push, execute means you push out your waves, you set vision and clear vision, and then thirdly, you push out your waves again, and then lastly, step number 4, you execute on the time that you're given with the wards. So the execution can be anything from sieging towers to hitting dragons to stealing buffs away. The execute option is open to anything that you want. But let's talk about dragon. So let's push vision, push execute for dragon right here. So step number 1, you would push. Let's push here. Alright, step number 1 has been complete. We push. Now let's go to step number 2. So you would turn on your sweeper. Normally you'd have sweeper by now and a Targon. You sweep this bush. You sweep these and these. You'll pop a ward over here. You move over here. You'll pop a ward over here. And then that's all you need. Just 2 wards and you swept 3 bushes already. 1 over here. 2 over here. 3 over here. And then you'd probably sweep this general area too in case they place the ward over the wall. And then I'd recommend you pink the dragon. Right here. And then you basically have full control over dragon. And then now, your team, your AD carry will go back to mid lane. You guys will semi-hover him, like right here. You and your jungler. So he's able to push the wave safely. And once he's done pushing the wave, he would move off of the wave. And you guys would start dragon. Simple as that. If they walk in, you guys have the vision to see them coming in. You have the TP flank wards. If they do commit to the dragon, your top laner can TP in. And you guys got a nice flank going on. This is just very, like, this is very standardized book gameplay that should be done across the board. But yeah, see what's going on in the chat. You guys are talking about Shaco support. Shaco support's good, but in very niche scenarios. In my opinion, I think he can be picked into... He would be picked when you need a champion that can... Actually, I don't know when Shaco support would be picked. He's really weird support, but there are very niche scenarios. Tips on Taric. Make sure you have an AD carry that can kind of use the stun. So champions such as Tristana, who has the jump to land the stun on someone. Lucian's a really good one. Ezreal's a really good one. So look to have AD carries that can do that. Is Nami still good support? Nami's a very good support. After her E changes to her bubble, or E, where champions' abilities can proc it. So, for example, Nami and Caitlyn, right? Really good duo bot lane. If you E a Caitlyn and she Qs the whole minion wave, the E from Nami applies to all 6 minions, and it only costs 1 charge. That's insane. I would never thought that would ever actually happen. Caitlyn mid. Caitlyn mid is only good into Corki mid because you outrange the Corki 24/7. And you should probably run Grasp too if you're running it mid. What are the best summoner spells for support? Flash Ignite, Flash Exhaust. Alright, so that's the push, vision, push, execute strategy on the dragon area. Now let's discuss the big one. The one that nobody knows how to do probably, the Baron. How do you set up Baron effectively for your team? So, same strategy. You would apply push, vision, push, execute. Let's take this tower so that we can have a more realistic setting. Usually mid-tier towers are gone at this time. Oh, there's no way I'm playing this tower. But anyways, you would push, step number 1, go get the vision. Here are the general placements that you want to place. For Baron, you always want a pink ward inside the bush, inside the Baron, no matter what. No matter what. You need to know if they have vision or not. Step number 2, you need to sweep this exact area right here. This is very important. This exact area is a place that people sneak a lot of wards in to see if you can do Baron. And usually your control ward can't see it. Right here, my bad. Because usually the control ward's in here to cover all of inside the Baron area. So you need to sweep that with your sweeper. You need to sweep this, those are all very important ward, bushes, and that. And then once you move in, once you can move in, you move in through this angle, probably pop a ward here, and then back off. But you're only doing this once you push out the wave and you see someone react to the wave, usually the enemy AD carry or mid laner. So I'm going to show a demonstration again. You would push, the minion wave would hypothetically go all the way here, where my mouse is. And then you would see the AD carry dealing with it, so that you know that when you face check, the AD carry will not be there to kill you because he's mid lane. So the worst case scenario is you're face checking a jungler and a support. Which is fine because you have your jungler and support and your AD carry because he's moving off the wave because he doesn't have to deal with the wave, he just dealt with it. So it'll be a 3v2 worst case scenario. And then obviously, if the enemy, like mid laner, isn't showing top, your mid laner is in theory coming. So the numbers advantage will always be there. So then you'd move in, you can place your wards with your team. If you get into a fight, you can fight, that's fine, because their AD carry is going to be late. And then you establish those 2 wards right there, yellow, yellow, and you make sure you sweep them at the same time. And then you go back to mid, you push out, and then now you look to execute. For execution, if your teammates cannot do Baron, like let's say your team just really bad Baron comp, you would just sit on this ward right here. Wait for the enemy team to utilize their far sight alterations, the blue trinket, bait those out, and then go back to pushing out waves again, and then go back to executing, and then just keep sitting on these control wards until they face check. And when they face check, bam, that's a pick right there. Push out the waves, and then you can start Baron. And then they're forced to face check again. Boom, another hook, and you guys get the point, right? But if you have a team that can do Baron, let's say Cassiopeia with Leandre's, Azir, champions in that nature, you can just start the Baron. See if they react. If they react, you guys can just hook them over, kill. If they don't react, you just take the Baron and you just walk away. Is Cho support viable? Probably not. What if you're on the other side of the map? So for the other side of the map, good question by the way. So let's say we push, right? We push the wave, and the wave goes in around here. And the AD carry deals with the wave, right? You would sweep this area right here. Personally, I prefer a control ward in this area right here. But yeah, you would sweep that, you would sweep this, you would sweep here, you want to sweep that right there, this ward. And then you obviously always want a control ward in the Baron pit, no matter what. Control ward in the Baron pit. Make sure you sweep that too. And then your ward placements would be over this wall. Over this wall. But if you can go deeper, these are the 2 wards that you want. You want this one if you can somehow get it. Because a lot of junglers on blue side, they would go here, like get over this wall somehow, move here, and then try to steal Baron from over this wall. Boom, steal Baron. So this ward's important. This ward's important. This ward is not important if you can get this one. And then if you can somehow get into here safely, that is a very good ward. And now I'm going to say this is an LCS level competitive ward. If you can somehow get this one right here as red side, you are a god. Because what that ward allows is no one is going to sweep that ward. I'll be quite honest. No one can sweep that ward. It's like the weirdest position, whatever. Because supports will generally start their sweep when they reach this area. And then they'll hit this ward. They'll hit this ward that you placed over the wall. And then they'll hit your control ward here. And then they'll start their sweeps here too. So they'll get this ward here, this ward here, this ward here. And sometimes this ward here if they're smart. But then they won't get this ward right here. And what that ward allows is, now your top laner is just like, yo, I have TP. I'm going to pop in right here. TP in. And all the enemy teams are funneled in right here. And you guys get the point, right? There's a nice flank going on. From 4 of you guys standing in this area, walking in, with like a Maokai or something, or a Poppy, just flanking behind, popping the AD carry into your team, and then boom. One team fight, Baron, the game's over. And keep in mind, all these steps are generally done with push, vision, push, execute. You need your team to follow you to ward. Especially if you're playing champs like Yuumi. Well, Yuumi's a given because you have to stick on someone. But like Brand, you have Sona. you need people to walk in front of you into that area, because if you face check, you're dead. You need like the Sejuani, you need like the Zac to face check for you, and then get those visions down. That's why Pyke and Bard is so good in solo queue, because these champions don't require your teammates to really be with you. You can even skip the push, vision, push, execute strategy and just go straight into vision, because your champions are so slippery. All you have to do is just pop W and just roll up, you place your wards, and then if you get in any danger at all, you just E out and then flash out, worst case scenario. And you walk away. Same as Bard, you just tunnel out. Make sure you know the your angles of tunnels when you're like entering area. So like, let's say you're entering here to place this ward, because you don't want to face check here. You have to get ready to instantly tunnel right here. And then if the enemy follow it, it'll obviously queue them. But yeah. How to support when the one you're supporting leaves the game? There's nothing much you can do when you have a leaver in the game. You can try to play the game out. There's a lot of 45 wins, but it doesn't happen very often, because once the enemy team starts to outscale you and gets items, you're basically just down a man. But for my 45 experiences, you have to be really far ahead, and you have to try to end the game before they catch up again. How to ward if you're pushed and objective is up? If you're pushed in and the objective is up, you guys have to give it up as a team. There's no option. But if you're Bard or Pyke, you can look to sneak around that. So generally, I'm going to go straight to competitive gameplay. In competitive gameplay, if you're pushed in, and there's an objective that you can't control, so an example is Dragon, right? Like, let's say you're red side and you can't control Dragon no matter what the enemy team will do is they'll just give it up. Give it up and do what they can that's safe. And what they can do is set their vision top side, because the enemy team is generally all bot side for the Dragon. So they would move in and get these deep wards into the enemy base. Get the deep wards. Once the enemy do Dragon, they're going to set up Baron. So once they set up Baron, they're going to move in and sweep this area that you just placed your vision in. They'll clear it, and then you'll have that one remaining ward to potentially start a team fight if you think your team is strong enough. So that's what they'll look to do. But in solo queue, if you want to fully contest, then you just kind of have to set the walk in and just place the wards as you go and just try to take the fight from there. Why does Pyke support have low win rate right now? I think for Pyke support, the reason why he has low win rate would be, if he did have low win rate, which he probably does, people don't know how to play him. Like, they don't know how to fully pressure on him. They don't know how to, when they can get wards, when they can have roam timers, to fully utilize the champion at its maximum. I think that's the most important when you're playing Pyke support, is being able to do that. Obviously, you should be doing that for every single champion, right? But for Pyke in particular, it's a very particular style that you should be utilizing him as, and you need to recognize these opportunities to be able to use those opportunities to take advantage of them, and then try to land that hook. Things in that nature. Leona not best supports for low elo. The reason why Leona and Nautilus is so good for lower level gameplay is they're brain dead. Sure, you have to think a little bit, right? When you want to engage all this stuff. But the way you engage and all that stuff, you click and then you hope it lands, and then you just auto them and you just go. Whereas Pyke, there's like this weird maneuvering techniques where you have to like dodge stuff, you have to like land your E, predict flashes with your E, and then execute with your ultimate and actually like land it so that you can make use of that gold generator that you get from it. Is it good to play Pyke as a beginner? I'm just gonna say yes. Just play Pyke. Just play Pyke just when you're starting out. People would probably say play Janna, Yuumi, things of that nature, but right off the bat, just spam the Pyke, and it'll naturally lead into the other hook supports. Like Thresh is a really good one, Blitzcrank, Nautilus, I guess. It'll naturally lead into those, so right off the bat, just try to learn as much as you can with the roaming style support. Alright, enough of that. Let's discuss later game warding. So let's say we're blue side, and for red side, obviously just mirror this. Later game, you generally want to, you're probably sieging top or mid bot. Let's just show mid bot siege. So when you're sieging mid bot, let's just go back to the base and buy a sweeper, because you guys normally have a sweeper this time. Obviously, I don't have a Targon ward, so I won't be able to ward there, but for later game, when you're sieging, you want to sweep these areas. Move in. Control ward here. I'm assuming this tower's down right here. And I'm assuming this tower's up. You'd want to control ward here. You want a yellow ward over this wall with your Targon. And then you want to sweep this area as fast as you can right here. And then you guys should be good for that siege setup. And then obviously for red side, on this side, you would just mirror it. It's the exact same thing on this side. And let's quickly cover top side. You would start in your sweeper here. Move in. You'd want to control ward here. You'd want to yellow ward over here. And hopefully someone can control ward this brush. The reason why you don't go all the way in, unless you know for sure you know where the enemy team is on the map, is because you're going to die. So pop a yellow ward just over the wall and that should be good to go. And then you have the setup for this tower. I'm assuming this mid tower is also gone too. So that's like the general consensus on where you want to ward going into the later game. So yeah, today I was able to cover support lane pressure, when you want to roam, dragon setup, lane setup, baron setup, and later game setup. Let's answer a couple questions and then probably do the viewers game right now. Why control near wolf camp? So the reason why you want to control ward right here is because you've probably seen this before. Red team, they're really far behind, right? Like all of this is just black. They can't see anything. This tower's gone. This tower's up. They're gonna place a ward over this wall. I guarantee you. They'll place a ward over this wall because they can't walk into this area. Because if they walk into this area right here, they'll die. And obviously you're sweeping there anyway, so it's perfectly fine. So they're probably just gonna pop a ward over the wall right here, and then just go about their day. They might even go over here and pop one over here, and then go back to what they're doing. What is good combo for Pyke? If you can open up with Q, that's a really good opener because when you land it, you'll slow them, and then that allows you to shoot out your E. They're probably gonna flash, but if you're quick enough, you can flash where they're gonna flash and then still land the stun. But if you have to open up with E, you want to... Let's say you want to E. Let's say someone's standing right in this choke, right? You want to E, and then flash over them. And then you go behind them and then hook them. Let's do it on a dummy doll, because that looked really hard. So right here, you would E, flash, Q, like that. That's a very classic Pyke combo, if you have to open up with E. I'm bronze, man. People don't ward, so the ward is useless. I mean, you still want to ward it anyways. Like, it's like you should be utilizing your control wards somewhere, and that's the best place you can use it when you're sieging mid/bot in the later game. Yumi's not that valuable anymore because once you build items when grave wounds, I think we're talking about Graves Yumi. Yeah. Question: when to ditch AD and 2v1 top or mid early game if AD is autofill Ezreal? So if bottom lane's just over, feel free, in my opinion, to ditch your AD carry because you can't save that lane anymore. Usually as Pyke, so the best thing you can do is impact top and mid. Hopefully the AD carry doesn't DC or rage quit, and just try to gank those lanes, impact those lanes, just completely sacrifice bottom lane. It does happen where you get those Ezreals to go 0-2, or like those random AD carries that just go 0-2 and just get hooked right off the bat. Then you'll have to just try to salvage and go top mid. That's what you would do in high elo solo queue. But in lower level solo queue, I think you can still like salvage bottom lane if your jungler can come through and you can land a hook, or your jungler can start off a really good gank. What is Pyke's best spike? I would say he's like good overall throughout the game, but once it hits like late game, Pyke is useless because he's not useless, but like all the gold that he got is like it's kind of nullified because everyone's now full build, and his champion will probably only land hooks onto tanky members of the enemy team. But your main objective in the later game, like sure he might not be the best support later game, like compared to Sona or something, but your goal is to try to land your E on key targets of the enemy team, and just try to land a hook and execute whatever you can. Like no matter what champion you're playing, do what you can. When it gets into the later game, even if your champion isn't that great. Like Lee Sin, right? Not the best later game champion, but you still can do these things, such as insecting the enemy AD carry into your team, or insecting certain targets, or just peeling. Alright, let's hop into the viewers game. I'll be choosing... Today I want high gold and any level platinum players to be able to give out their in-game names for this game. Because I want quality games for me to be able to watch and cast. So I'm going to create a custom game. If you can guess the password, you get to play. But we're going to do blind pick. Any spectators. This is going to be NA games. So yeah, let's turn on the music. Alright. So I want top laners to give me their IGNs. This is going to be NA. Please be gold like 2 to 1 and just platinum and above. Maybe gold 3 if you want. But yeah. Gold 3 and above to platinum 1. Top laners. Hit me up. Ooh, I should pull up ProGuides on my... Ooh. On my computer, not my laptop. I have it on my laptop. Alright. So I see Best Kaisa NA. I hope you're top lane main. Yes, you are. Maokai player. Alright, we got Best Kaisa NA. Alright, we need another top laner. Let's see. I see Saphir 1. Saphir 1. You are silver. Sorry, Saphir. Arctic Playman. Wait, you're in Turkey. Well, we need NA players, gold and platinum in that area. I need a top laner right now. Yeah, so the Kaisa IGN is a top lane main who plays a lot of Maokai, so whoever's against him, counterpick Maokai. Campaign. Will there be custom games in other servers? No, I'm all in NA, but I can do other servers because I'm not playing the game. So that is one of the pluses I can do. I need gold / platinum top laners. Alright, if not, we can drop the game to silver / gold, but we'll see. Because I don't there's a couple situations where you'll have like you'll invite people and then there'll be like diamonds against silvers and the games are kind of skewed and I don't really want that. I want like quality normal level games where there's mistakes on both sides that are very common in that rank, and that's the things I want to cover so that we can look to learn and move forward. So we're probably gonna do a silver gold. So all silver gold players, drop your IGNs top. We'll start with top lane. We need one more top lane. Alright. The chat moves pretty fast. Alright, top laners. Whew. Alright, Saphir 1 I believe was the top laner. I'm gonna pop you in. Alright, we're sliding in Saphir 1 as a top laner. Who else? Alright, now we need junglers. All junglers in gold / silver. Put down your IGNs and let's get the jungler in here. No hacks, just jacks. Oh man. Saphir 1, could you please join? There's Saphir 1. No hacks, just jacks. What role do you even play? I can't tell from your op.gg. Alright, we got my boy Calorin, a Mumu player. Okay. Alright, so just put in your IGN and jungle if you play jungle. IGN and jungle. This will make it a lot easier for me. I should have done that from the start. Alright, no hacks, just jacks. Yeah, your op.gg was really weird. I'll say that. Okay, we got Solo God here. For me. Can Calorin 2 join and Solo God 2 join? You guys were the junglers. If not, I'll invite... Okay, you guys are in. Switch screens. Okay, League of Legends client. I apologize for that, guys. So we have top laners and junglers. Just go to either side. Calorin, go to the left side. Alright, so now we need mid laners. Mid laners, drop your IGN and type mid into it. Make sure you're gold or silver, please. That'd be the best way. Oh, we got hide on trees. We got Faker up in here. Need another mid laner. Oh, baby. Teemo Lord has sold me. He said he plays Yasuo. He has sold me. You are in. This I want to see. Alright, 80 carries. Oh, he's already ahead of the game, Mr. Sullivan. Alright. 80 carries. Make sure you guys just go to either side, it's fine. Make sure you guys are in order from top, jungle, mid, 80 carry. Gmag Tech. Player not found. Easy G Skyzo. How come I can't find any of these IGNs? Alright, we need 80 carries still, I believe. Can you guys move accordingly to top, jungle, mid, 80 carry support? So I believe Best Kaisa was NA, was top, Solo God was jungle. Yes, just move accordingly. And now, I believe we have... Alright, let's get some supports. I think I got 180 carry. Hopefully I didn't do this wrong. Alright, we need 2 supports. BD Calio, what's up? Okay, don't worry about the order, just get on your sides, like, relative to your role. We have BD Calio on support, we need 1 more support. And I think we'll have full teams. Alright, we need 1 more support. I see Thresh main 117. That's what I like to see. Alright, so we have top laner, jungle. Yeah, move party leader to spectate. Lancelot, may you please join? I know you're a support player. Can everyone please move into their roles? Where's Lancelot? Alright, I got Thresh X in here. Hide on trees, may you please move to your side? Alright, we're missing 1 player. What are we missing? There you go. Okay, I think we have 2 support players on Lancelot and Thresh X. So one of you guys just have to play 80 carry. Oh, Lancelot is 80 carry. Okay, we got Thresh X on support. I think this is everyone. I think everyone's basically almost in their role. Yeah, Thresh X is the support, Lancelot is 80 carry, and I'm pretty sure everyone's already in their role. So you can now start the game. No, you guys don't need to Discord. Just play out the game. Pretty sure you guys are all in your role. If there's a role mix-up, just talk about it and quickly switch it up. One of you guys like play whatever role I missed, and yeah, make it clean. Yep, Calorin, may you please start the game, and let's cast out this beautiful game. Pick your most comfortable characters, and don't like try new stuff. So yeah. What region is this? This is the NA region. Yeah, there's probably definitely a cleaner way I could have done this, but it worked for me yesterday, but I was a bit disorganized today. But it's okay. We got everyone in lobby, so we're good to go. You guys are stalling on the stream to counterpick the enemy team. Big brain. Can someone play Ornn, please? Ornn's a great character top lane. I'll say that much. They can cheat on stream snipe. It's okay. We'll just cover counterpicks then. Can I play tomorrow? Please do Bronze Iron. Well, yeah, next time I do a stream, I can definitely do Bronze Iron game. There's a lot of little things I can cover for micro-wise. That can really help out. But a lot of it will come down to micro. I won't talk too much about macro. How can I land more pike hooks? Shoot it in random directions they're gonna juke in. But don't overdo it. I hope everyone had their roles properly in. I think that's top Trendemir. Yeah, AD carry Syndra. Or is that top Syndra? Very standard team composition from red side though. We got the Ornn, we got Kayn, Yasuo, Lucian, Thresh. I'm assuming for this side, they have Senna, Syndra bot lane, Katarina mid, Vi jungle, Trindamere top lane. So, pretty normal in most cases. Arshan had to lane swap. Alright, it's all good. It's no problem. That was my bad. Can you do Filipino server? Does Filipino even have a server? Like, I don't know, actually. But I can do any server when it comes to spectating games. Well, I'll definitely talk to my superiors and we'll see if we can hash those out. But for now, I'll do NA because I'm already on NA. It was really nice info for me about Warding as Plat 1 sport player. Awesome stream. Thanks. No problem. I can't read out your name, but no problem, man. AD carry Syndra? Sounds good. I think there was an AD carry Syndra yesterday's game that I casted too for the ProGuides games. But no, everyone's just playing AD carry Syndra now, so I guess it is what it is. Mechanics tips? Mechanics. Just be on top of what, the abilities that you're using and predict what the enemy will do next and play accordingly to that. Is Galio support viable? Galio support is viable, but I personally recommend that you have Kai'Sa with the Galio because the Galio can apply 2 stacks onto Kai'Sa's passive instantly if he lands anything. So then the Kai'Sa can also pop her burst and get probably 2 passive procs on her abilities. You casted the same person who played Syndra yesterday? This is the same guy? Oh, okay. That was my bad. But it's okay. We'll get more Syndra gameplay. When is it good to freeze as bot lane? It seems too passive. Well, generally, I'm talking about a high elo solo queue now. Freezing is really bad in North America because people don't have the patience to play around it. Because they just want to like roam around and fight. So generally freezing is bad at a like high like level of freezing where you're doing it like constantly. But if you're micro doing it for like 1 wave or 2, that's fine. But people like to push out waves and just roam and just try to impact the map as much as they can. Whereas like more an EU solo queue, they like to freeze and hold the wave infinitely on someone until the enemy team actually properly react to it. Leona and Nautilus are the best supports at this patch? Probably. They're really easy to execute. That's why they're good champions. Can you please tell me some Katarina tips? For Katarina tips, I would say mash your buttons. But on the real though, when you're playing Katarina, try to be mindful of what you're clicking in each scenario. Like when you're eating like all over the place and just shooting your Qs and Ws, like try to actually like map out in your mind where exactly you're clicking. And that's the best advice I can give you. Personally, I'm not a Katarina main, but all I know is when I play that champion, I'm just spamming every ability. Like when I'm flying into the team fights and stuff in that nature. Do you think that Hecarim jungle can still work? Hecarim jungle can work. We probably run Ghost. And then just probably run Predator too. Or you run Conqueror probably better. And then just run at people and try to stack your Conqueror and just heal infinitely. Is Rakan still good at the current meta? Personally, I'd only play Rakan if I have Xayah. And a Xayah that you duo queue with, not 80 solo queue Xayah. Is Kiana a bad champion? She's pretty good in mid lane, I'll say that. Paired up with the Gragas, you have a long stun. Paired up with the Gragas jungle. Thanks so much, I love the way you teach. Says Mokek DC. No problem, man. Thank you very much for the compliment. Any tips for Pyke? Learn the basic combos from E and then flashing on them and then going behind them and then queuing so that you hook them into your team. Or when you're shooting, if you're just purely shooting your hook and they know you're hooking them, like they see you, then shoot it in a direction that you know they're going to juke in. So then you have a 1 in 3 chance of landing it. Because they can either go straight, they can go right or left. Alright, let's get into this game. Yesterday there was actually a glitch when I loaded into the game where it didn't actually load in. I had to disconnect. Okay, God bless, we're in. I think. Yeah, we're in. Alright. Let's move this up here. Let's move this here. Here. Click U. And we're in. Alright, so let's quickly rearrange. I guess I screwed up the lane assignments. My bad, guys. Alright, so I would say overall, aside from the Syndra pick, very standard picks across the board. You'll see these in all ranks. So, basic fan out, very weird 5-point from both sides, but generally for a 5-point, for blue side you stand here, 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 mid laner stands here, and then 80 carry stands bot lane. And then same as red, you just fan out across the board. So that's probably the best lane assignments that you want to do in solo queue early on, just to see where they're coming in and to back out if you do see them coming in. So right here, a mini late invade coming in from red team, but probably nothing that they're going to achieve because Senna was actually able to place a ward. Piece of advice here. If you're standing in this bush right here, stand right here early on, and if you see them invading at all, place your ward right here. Right in that area right there where my mouse is, because when they enter the bush, they can actually all hit it if you place it in the middle. So then you would lose the ward. But if you placed it right here, right, the melee champions can't actually touch it. So only the ranged champions can hit it. Oh, we don't see anything? I apologize, guys. Boom! We're back. I apologize. You guys didn't miss anything. But basically what I said was, for blue side, when you're right here, and the enemy team are invading, you want to place your ward right here. Because the enemy range champions can only hit it. And usually they only have 2, so they can't get it. Let there be light. I can't see, but I can fight. My man. Alright. Do you guys want the music on or off as I go through this? ProGuides saved. I can lower the music really low and then just have that running in the background. Music on? Alright. We'll just put it really low. Music off. On. We're all across the board. Alright, we'll just have it extremely low. It's lower. There you go. Alright. Set the fog of war, please. I think we need to see both sides on. We need to see both sides though. So right off the bat, bot lane. I'm gonna quickly go back because I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. So let's rewatch what happened here. So my main focus is gonna be bot lane for this game. So yeah, right here we have red side with a slight early push going on. Cause Syndra and Senna really can't push against Lucian and Thresh in my opinion. So yeah, right here Thresh should be walking up on that melee minion right there. And then looking for a hook. Right here, Syndra walks up. Very classic level 2 cheese. So, right there, Syndra shouldn't be walking up to the Thresh. She should be respecting the Thresh, even though they're both level 2, the Syndra and Senna. But the issue is they gave up the lane positioning where the minions can't really help them. So, like, Thresh was just able to walk up, land a hook, and then they were able to get a lot of damage off. What Syndra and Senna should have done was realize, oh, we're level 2. Let's just walk up to them and just put all our bursts on one of them and then back off immediately. Because the wave is still pushing towards us. I also realized I'm looking at the chat this way, but my camera's this way, so I see you guys this way. But, alright. Thresh doing a really good job of walking up and pressuring the lane. He walks up, lands a hook onto Senna. So the issue with this position that Thresh is going on is if he misses the hook, he actually gets poked out a lot by the Syndra and Senna. So generally in high elo, supports won't walk up this far because if they miss the hook, it's over. So what Thresh should be looking to do is just stand here and just posture back and forth right here. And do not shoot your hook out at all. Because if you stand here and just posture back and forth, the Syndra misses minions. Look, Syndra's going to miss one here, and the Thresh literally can just stand here back and forth until they're threatening to poke him, or they are going to walk up. And anything in that nature. But if he walks up and misses here, it's over for him. But since he landed it, God bless, he gets to send a flash. So don't take the risky plays like that when you can take the free plays, which is just posture up, make them lose 2 minions, and then push the wave in and back up and get wards or reset. Mid lane replay? Oh yeah, something happened, you're right. Alright. So we got the Yasuo. Katarina dodging out on the Yasuo Q and just dancing all around the Yasuo. That was Faker right there. And then my man Katarina getting out. That champion, I hate Katarina. The champion's just so broken when she gets resets on people. But yeah. Alright, let's skip ahead. Let's get back into this game. I'm going to skip all the way past anything that just happened. Okay, this is too important for me to skip past, so we're going to go back and see how they got into this situation. So Thresh doing a classic Lantern into Flash E play. The reason why this play is really good on Thresh to look is because he knows Senna has no flash because of the earlier posture that he took, the risky posture that he took on the Senna. And that was just a very free play, just Lantern in your AD carry, and hope that the jungler isn't there. But generally you don't want to look for that play because it's 4 minutes. 4 minutes is when the jungler should be on bot side again. So it was a risky play, but he did take it because he knew Senna had no flash and they instantly bursted her down. The Lucian flash, a little bit questionable, but I'll take the secure. Okay, so right here, look at the minion wave. The minion wave is in a position where it didn't fully push in. It's actually in a freeze position. So Syndra noticed that and she's like, oh shoot, I need to push the wave now. And starts like clearing the wave as much as she can. What Thresh could do here, I talked about this earlier, is you generally want to roam, but you don't want to roam when the wave's crashing. But this is a niche situation where Syndra and Senna can't dive Lucian because Syndra needs to reset. She has no mana. So what Thresh should have done was path it towards here to establish vision in this area, even though Dragon's down, to cover where Vi could be going. So all you have to do is just control ward here, and then Thresh can go bot lane. Let Lucian catch the wave solo, and then come and join him up right after. And basically what you did was you've established a control ward in the river without losing anything. You lose a little bit like minions in XP for yourself, but you're the support. It's whatever. But Senna right here, mission impossible. So right here, if Thresh actually walked into like the river area, he might have ran into the Senna and they can kill her. Because Senna has no flash and she's going really deep to ward. But I will give this to Senna. She got a really good ward. So we got Thresh. They pushed. They kind of pushed. And now Thresh is looking for a mini roam. On mid lane, there's action happening mid lane. I don't think much is going to happen here. Yeah, so the reason why this roam isn't that great is because the minion wave wasn't fully pushed in. There's no reason to go all the way down there. Or all the way to mid lane. And now you leave your AD carry in a 1v2 scenario where the Syndra and Senna can just walk up and Lucian is forced to back off. So right here, Thresh is sacrificing his AD carry CS to just stand mid and potentially pressure, where he's not really getting much out of it. So yeah, Thresh established some vision in the river, very nice. Get a ward in here. You probably don't want to clear that, because a Vi could be around the corner, ready to attack you. Yeah, so right here, the Lucian just probably missed around 3 to 4 creeps because of that Thresh roam. That wasn't really worth it. So that's definitely something that Thresh should rewatch, where the wave wasn't fully pushed in, and he went for a risky roam onto mid lane, and it didn't pay off. Risky roams are fine if you're not losing anything for it. So, oh, well, a double kill just happened. So let's quickly go back to mid lane and see what happened here. So we have Vi with the gank, doesn't land the Q. Yasuo should have E through the minions and then flashed. Kayn kind of come through mid, doesn't work out, and now they die. So all Yasuo had to do there was attempt to E through one of the mage minions, E through one of the melee minions, then flash out. so that he can build more distance with his abilities first, then look to flash to get away. But I will say this though. He's hitting his 010 power spike. Or 110. It's coming. You guys all seen it. 110 Yasuo gets one ult off in the middle of later game fight. Just pops off. But alright, bot lane. Nothing much happening too much. If I was Thresh right here, I would dip right into this corner of the bush right here. And then watch the enemy ward this bush or scramble to shoot abilities into the bush and waste mana. He shouldn't be constantly showing himself like this because you don't really pressure when you're just standing there auto-attacking minions all day. But yeah, obviously you can auto minions, like just step out of the bush, quickly Targon, and then pop back into the bush. So nothing really going on here. Vi doing a very good job of securing the dragon, securing the Rift Herald. We have a Kayn with a invade here with Ornn priority. But the Ornn opted into reset instead of assist his Kayn. Oh! Did you guys see that big IQ play? The Vi was like, I'm gonna deliver this Kayn to you. And then you can finish them off. And then Yasuo's in the area, they get popped. But what Ornn had to do there was you had the priority. You just solo killed the Tryndamere, and you had like a lot of HP. Move into the jungle because Tryndamere's dead. Help your Kayn out. Help your Yasuo out, and see what you can do for them. Instead of doing nothing. In hindsight though, his rotation would have done nothing. But at least the thought would have been there though. So right here, Senna doing a very good job. They kind of pushed. So now she's establishing some basic vision, which he's doing a really good job of. Cleared the control ward. Probably going to put a ward over this wall right here. Very nice. Oh, okay. This guy places deep wards, I will say that much. It's a little risky because if he gets caught out, right? He's really deep, and his teammates can't really help him, and Thresh could hypothetically roam all the way up on him, and then meet him in this area right here. But yeah, Thresh recognizing, okay, Senna's gone for a long time. I'm going to reestablish my own vision. Gets a ward into Tribush. So that's his counterplay, which is good. Are you coaching one player in particular this game? No, I'm trying to focus on bot lane, but a lot of action is happening around jungle and mid, so I'm forced to respond to that. So I will talk about general team play too, if the opportunity presents itself. So right here, there's no pressure from Senna, and there's a ward in Tribush, so Thresh can move up, place a control ward onto the dragon, and then get back to bot lane to assist Lucian to finally push out this wave. So right here, they should push and just do dragon. Just do dragon right now. Just help the Kayn or do dragon. You have the priority. Okay, he's dead. And then mid lane died too. Alright. So this is a very common situation in your solo queue games, right? Your bot lane, you're kind of ahead. Right here, Lucian's 1-0, Thresh is 0-1. Your jungler and mid laner ain't doing the hottest in the world. Very common situation. What do? So in this scenario, you need to either take risky plays if your team does not outscale. In my opinion, I don't think red team outscales. Blue team will outscale. So as the Lucian Thresh, you should be opting into more risky plays onto the Syndra and Senna to see if you can come back in the game. Because there's no reason to play for KDA anymore, right? The game is going to be over if you just play nice and slow. So you should be looking to take like aggressive plays like this. This is the one that you want to look for. Look to come back into the game like this. Very nice from Thresh. Setting up those plays. Kayn, jump to the lantern, please. Thank you very much. And look to try to come back through there. And as the Lucian, if you want, so let's say Senna and Thresh is roaming, right? And you know Vi and Katarina is like wherever like the main fight is going on. If you're in a 1v1 scenario against like the enemy AD carry, you want to look for that 1v1 as the Lucian. Your champion is not designed for 1v1s, but very good for 1v1s. So right here, he can look, but don't get hit by the QE. So what he should look to do is look to dash in, auto, Q, auto, and by then Syndra will shoot her QE. And then you flash the QE to outplay it. And instantly heal the second you take any damage before her ignite goes off. And try to take the 1v1 in this case to try to come back on her. So that's your individual gameplay that you can impact by taking 1 kill away from them. Getting the 300 gold off Syndra and putting her off the map so you can push. For your support, you can look to try to roam and make those crazy plays. And if you can't make the play onto the enemy AD carry, push out the wave if you can, and then roam with your support and do it together with your support. Bring more numbers of people to match the amount of kills that the enemy, like, fed people have. Any tips for Draven? Be very mindful of how you're controlling his axes, because you can fully control his axes if you're really good on Draven. So know exactly where you're going to drop your axes so that you can catch it in that direction. Can you show how much gold Lucian has? Lucian has 4.3k in total, and he has 1k right now, so he can buy Essence Reaver. In my opinion, Lucian should go Essence Reaver here, because he's already committing towards the build. And then build... I would say straight up go Infinity Edge, straight up. Even though normally you would go PD, you would go Rapid Fire Cannon, something along those lines. I would go Infinity Edge Rush. Oh, what's going on here? Ooh, he got hit by the QE, that's why he died right there. Meanwhile, on the mid side, we have Vi securing the dragon away, and a lost fight being taken by red team. Unfortunate. But yeah, right there, Lucian should not be face checking to that area because he doesn't have to. All he has to do right here, let's go back. I'll finish that point onto his build in a second. So right here, all Lucian has to do is not walk in, because he's being sandwiched basically by Senna and Syndra, right? Thresh, let Thresh walk in, and let Thresh dictate the play if he wants to walk in. He can look to hook the Syndra, or he can look to hook the Senna, and then you can look to follow up on the play right after. Because if you walk in, they're just going to go on you. There's no reason to. Worst case scenario, if you really can't contest the dragon, which you guys are already doing it, then just give it up. But back to the Lucian build, he should build Essence Reaver straight into Infinity Edge, because he needs to build a Hex Drinker this game. There's a Fed Katarina, Syndra's going to pop you too, you need the Hex Drinker. Then finally after the Hex Drinker, you can choose to finish it, or build into your Rapid Fire Cannon / Static Shiv from there. And then skip the Blade of the Rune King completely. You have no choice this game. On top of that, they don't really have the tankiest targets in the world. Vi's building tank, sure, but you need to live. Best duo bot lane for climbing? In my opinion, Kalista Thresh, or Lucian Thresh, and Zyra Khan. Those are the big ones in my opinion. Alright, so looking at the state of the game for Red Team. So what Red Team should look to do here is look to establish vision in the top side, where they're going to be looking to do Herald next, in your top side jungle. And look to try to pick people when they walk in, because they're setting up for that objective. So right here is really good. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, viewing it from blue side, you shouldn't be here in the first place. Your teammates are all resetting. Just back off and wait for your teammates to get back onto the map, and then you can look to do your risky stuff. But right here, Red Team, beautiful. This is all beautiful from Red Team. Look for random positionings from the blue side. Look to take random fights, and look to try to come back into the game. Very nice from Red Team. But for blue team, wait for your Vi, the strongest member, to get back on the map. Wait for everyone to get back, then you can do whatever you want. And because if you get into a fight, you guys are stronger because you have way more kills. But yeah. Lessons to be learned from both sides. If you're blue team, wait for all the pressure to move up. If you're red team, look for the random fights that they're giving you. What should I do as support if my AD carry in mid is not good in the game? You can either force, like, if they're feeding, right? Like, if they're just, like, dying and the lane's over, then you can look for mid ganks with your jungler, or you can just go top. Uh-oh, there's a DC. That's not good. Alright, well, this is we're basically just simulating an average solo queue game, so we're doing a very good job here of doing that. So the Syndra will come back, and the game will look to continue. But yeah, when it comes to push vision, push execute strategy that I discussed, it applies to both sides. But the issue is for the losing team, push vision, push execute, there's smaller windows that you're able to apply that concept. And you need to be very particular when you're doing it. Like right here, there's no reason for you to walk up to that brush, because placing down that ward doesn't actually achieve you anything. You want the enemy team to siege into you so that you can see everyone on the map, so that you can look to make a play on them. Right here, Ornn pulling the engage. He goes for the 1 HP Senna, which is fine, I guess. And now we have the Tryndamere in the side lane, split pushing as normal in your average solo queue game. But yeah, what red team should look to do is let the enemy team come into you. When they come into you, then you can look for the plays. Because if you're walking into Fog of War, you have no clue what's going on. You don't have towers near you. You usually don't have your teammates near you, and the minion waves aren't like fully pushed out. But if you're blue team, you can generally look to walk in once you push in the wave. Go walk in as a team, and you'll always win if you walk in as a team. As long as you're not all bunched up and then get wombo comboed by Malphite Yasuo. If they do have that team composition, then you're fine. Is Ornn being so late to fight a problem? No. This is not Ornn's fault at all. If I had to put the blame on someone, it'd be Thresh there. He has no reason to walk in there to try to look to establish vision. Right here, Thresh looking for a very good pick. Catches the Senna. And yeah. So right there, who do we blame? Do we blame the Tryndamere for baiting the Senna into helping the Tryndamere, or do we blame the Senna? In my opinion, Tryndamere shouldn't be there in the first place because look, that's a minion wave that you have to push out. Why are you there? You don't achieve anything for being there. You're just allowing the red team to try to find random hooks on you and come back in the game. And then obviously that baits the Senna to try to help the Tryndamere. And then now they're down 2 members and Dragon's coming up. So right there again, blue team, wait for your pressure to come up, push out your waves first. Then you can face check as a team and do the random plays that you're making. Red team, very nice. Take advantage of it right away. But do you guys see this recurring trend here going on? But anyways, let's play this out. This fight, Katarina going in. Doesn't finish off the Thresh, unfortunately. Numbers advantage. Yasuo is down. Syndra looking for a QE, does not eat anything. Vi turning around. Lucian looking for the aggressive play, but does not find it. Red team forced to back off, allowing blue team to secure it. But the point is you see this reoccurring trend, right? The losing team should look for these aggressive plays that the enemy team are out of position for. You look for them. Blue team, the winning team should play smarter. You wait for all pressure in at least 2 lanes, and then you play for objectives slowly, and then move in as a team because you're the winning team. If you get caught as a winning team, you can fight as a winning team and you'll be fine. So that's what you want to look to do when you're behind in solo queue. Look for the random fights where you guys have numbers advantage and take it right away. If you guys lose, then it's over. When you guys have the numbers advantage, but that's what you want to look to do when you're behind. And red team right here is doing a really good job of demonstrating that concept. So remember, your solo queue games, even though you're really far behind, which red team kind of fell behind this game, on jungle and mid early on, they're doing a really good job of finding these picks. And they do have a really good team composition for it, in my opinion. Kayn, you got the knock-up, you got the Ornn CC, you got the Yasuo to follow up. And then you got some random Lucian damage in the corner with the Thresh pick. The only issue I see here is they don't have any AP damage. You have Yasuo E, Ornn, Sunfire, and Lucian W and Thresh for magic damage. That's why, as you can see on blue side here, you have the Seeker's Arm Guard coming out from Syndra. You have the Dead Man's Plate and Ninja Tabi. These are really good itemization choices on the blue side team. So the only thing I would switch here is maybe throw in an AD carry Heimerdinger or Veigar AD carry, who knows? Something along that line. Because right here, if you have Veigar AD carry, what does Vi and Tryndamere do to a Veigar AD carry? You pop the E, and they can't do anything. So right here, blue team doing a really good job of just walking around as a team and just looking for picks. This is what you were supposed to do from the beginning to set up the vision. Ornn, on the other hand, disrespecting the lack of vision he has. Look at his team. His team has no vision in this area, and he's walking up to mid lane. There's no reason to do that. Let blue team push in the wave, then you catch the wave. All you have to do, Ornn, is just go bot lane, TP in if anything happens, and wait for Tryndamere to react to your wave. But in this case, you get caught out mid lane from the Vi, allowing the blue team to siege, and then this stuff happens, where none of your teammates are holding. It's like all question marks all over the place, and now they get a nice 5-man siege going on. So the point I want to get to is you generally want to move as a team. This is a team game. That's why you get the NA joke in competitive is NA just groups mid and just 5-mans, because it is the easiest strategy to pull off, but it's not the most effective, which is one of the things that I want to I want to see changed more in the LCS and Academy, where there's more 1-3-1 action, 1-3-1 collapse, 1-3-1 setup, 4-1 if your team doesn't have that setup. But blue team doing a good job. They grab inhibitor, they turn their sights back onto the Baron and secure the Baron, and then now they can look to siege bot or top. Probably sending the Tryndamere top lane and sending the 4 core to mid/bot lane to look to siege the bot lane. What red team should look to do here is push top out as far as they can, push bot out as far as they can, set up vision in bot side because you know the enemy team will probably siege that area, and then look for picks as they walk in. Stop standing here in the middle of mid lane doing nothing. Move in, establish control ward here, yellow ward here, and then everyone stand on this pink ward after you clear the mid wave and look for a pick when they walk in. And take that 5v5 team fight with your advantage right off the bat where you started off with the hook. Alright, so let's see what blue team opts to do. So blue team has a lot of options here. They can just wait for dragon. They can do 1-0-4 with Tryndamere top and then 4 bot side. Or they just wait for dragon, that's fine too. But in my opinion here, Tryndamere should be top lane because you should be pressuring a side lane to force one of their strongest players, which is Ornn, away from the team. So it allows a 4v4 to happen. And that's what you want when you're the winning team. 4v4s are fine because in this case he's pulling the strongest member away, which is Ornn, the 6-2 Ornn. That sets up the Yasuo to ult everyone on the enemy team. But right here we get an NA group where it's just 5-man group, and hopefully it's just the easiest strategy to execute. But ultimately they just all back off the dragon, secure the soul, and go from there. What Ornn should have been doing this whole time was move to top lane. You're not going to die to the Tryndamere 1v1, I guarantee that one. You have Ninja Tabi and Sunfire. Push out the wave. After you push out the wave, the enemy team has to push all that pressure back, which gives you more time to keep stalling. And then, once they bring up the pressure, then you look for the random 5v5 team fight. Again, right here, Tryndamere should be bot lane. You're not very useful in siege scenarios because you can't really hit anything as Tryndamere, and you can't really W anything either. So you may as well just be bot lane, split pushing, even though you don't have teleport. What ends up happening here is red side kind of face checks, gets hit by Syndra QE, Yasuo goes down, and the team fight like really isn't like organized. So the game should be over here, but I'm gonna go back and discuss some of the scenarios that happened throughout this game, and talk about what the team should be doing in each situation. So I think the game should be over here. Yeah, it's over. So let's go back to roughly here. Okay, so I'll start with this dragon setup. Okay, you have Tryndamere down, and you basically have numbers advantage. Kane's kind of low HP, but he's playing red Kane. He can heal really easily off of the camps and using his E into the wall. So he should be looking to try to clear camps here and get his HP back. But ultimately, you guys push mid, right? Move in as a team for vision. This is very nice. You're moving as a 3-man unit. You're clearing the vision. You pop the Herald mid. This is all very good stuff. But the issue here is, what is Ornn doing? Like, Ornn, you're going way too deep. I understand you're really fed, right? But all you had to do was move into this bush right here, place a ward over the wall, and then walk back to your teammates. And now you're grouped up with your teammates. The enemy team have two options: to contest you, or let the Rift Herald freely wail away on their mid lane tower. And on top of that, you have numbers advantage. There's no reason to give them a way to get back into this scenario, and the game, I guess, into this scenario. So don't give it to them. This concept right here is basically applied to winning teams. Don't give them anything that allows them to get back into the game like that can. So all you have to do is just pop a ward off the wall. The enemy team would have to eventually walk in 4v5. And then once they walk in 4v5, you take the fight, you win. And if you don't win, then you lost. But you should win. Oh, and that Katarina played that really well, but she suicided her life for it. And then right here, Kayn and Yasuo kind of get baited. The team fights all over the place, and then the team can't really do the dragon. Sure, you were fine, right? Because they can't kill you. You walk to the Thresh Lantern, you grab it. But the issue is why do that when you can just have a nice clean dragon? You do the dragon, 50-50 the dragon, because I know Vi will go over that wall for sure. 50-50 it, then take the team fight as a 5-man unit where you're working as a team to try to take down the Katarina / Vi. And then that could have been a turning point for red team in that game. I should have dashed to the front of the cone instead of the back. I'm assuming you were the Katarina. But yeah, so that was that scenario. That could have been a huge turning point for the red team to try to come back into the game. Because they did have a numbers advantage. They could have probably got an ace, grab the dragon, maybe do Baron, probably not. If not, then they'll just take mid tower and then reset and then set up for the Baron. But yeah, that was a good opportunity. Now let's go into the mid section. So right here, look at the vision of red team. Right now, you have your teammates in the base. You have Thresh, your main person that places wards in the base. You have Lucian and Yasuo chilling over here. Kayn's coming in from topside. Kayn doesn't spot anything here. As the Ornn, you have no reason to walk up here to clear the wave. Because let's say you do clear this wave, right? You don't achieve anything because the enemy team have to clear this wave too anyways. So they're obviously going to come here. So all you have to do here as Ornn is stand back here, wait for your Thresh, wait for your Lucian and Yasuo to kind of be grouped up. Let Kayn do whatever he wants when it comes to scouting, because he's a similar champion to Pyke and Bard, where he can Q away, W to knock them up, and then just E into the wall and walk away. And then just wait for the enemy team to push. So as the losing team, your objective is to catch waves coming in, not clear waves, and try to set up pressure. Because you are the losing team at the end of the day. So let it come in, clear the wave, and then see what the enemy team does and react accordingly, because you are the losing team. Right here, what happens is Vi does a really good job. He notices, okay, this Ornn's out of position. He's really tanky. Doesn't matter. We have all the teammates rolling up. Goon Squad, Squad W. Flashes on him, knocks him up, and they just go from there. So now they remove the strongest member from the enemy team. Now they have two options. I would do Baron here in my opinion, if you were blue. But in this case, they just siege, which is fine too. Red team on the other hand now, to salvage this bad scenario here, is you want to back off completely and just sacrifice the inhib. Sacrifice the inhib, take your losses, the enemy team will back off, they'll set up Baron, then you just have to deal super minions now, and then you'll be fine. Also, I do want to point out, do not flame Ornn here. This is actually a very common situation that happens in games, and you have to have the foresight to be able to see it. Like, this even happens to high elo competitive players. They'll walk up to a wave, usually the AD carry, by the way. That's the fun part. The AD carry walks up to the wave, he's like, I'm just clearing, and all of a sudden, people just flash out of bushes and just kill you. Happens all the time in academy games, even LCS games, Double Lift even did it. Like, it happens all the time, but it mostly happens in side lane. I'll say that, new to the top laner. That's the most common person to get cheesed by this gank. But this happens very often. Just all you have to do is recognize that this is a situation that happened to you before, and don't do it again. And then when you rewatch the game, you'll notice, okay, I normally walk up here. And then you're like, oh shoot, there was 4 people in the bush. Good job I didn't walk up in this game. And now you improved in that situation. So, very common situations, it's okay. Alright, so now I'm going to discuss the siege with Baron. I'm not a huge fan of 5-man grouping at all. I dislike it. You don't apply full pressure to the map, unless you have 2 inhibs, by the way. You have 2 inhibs, you can 5-man group, that's fine. But generally, you always want to at least 4-1. That's the general strategy. You want the top laner usually, in a side lane. And then you want the 4-man core to be grouped in some way, capacity, or form. So right here in this scenario, blue team just took Baron, right? They just took Baron. I'm a huge fan of sending the core side to bot lane, because you want to control bot side for the dragon, hypothetically, if the game did go on that long, which it did in this case. Set up bot side as a 4-man core, have the Trinity split pushing top. Now apply the logic I just applied to the Ornn in mid lane. as Tryndamere. So you're Tryndamere, the solo, right? The enemy team are gunning for you because they can't gun for the 4-man core because they're too strong. They're gonna go for the guy that's by himself, right? So you're the Tryndamere, right? So Tryndamere goes top here. You go top. 4-man core bot. As Tryndamere, you have to pay attention to this. How many people does my team see? And if it's like X amount, then you can walk up. Like, let's say they see Yasuo, Lucian, Thresh, and Kayn. You're fine. If they don't see, like, 3 people, let's say they only see Lucian, Thresh, right? You need to run. You need to run, like, if you're right here. So let's say you're right here right now, right? And you don't see Lucian, or you don't see Yasuo, Kayn, and Ornn. You need to run. Sit right here in this bush. Literally sit there. Wait for your team to walk in. And if they get caught by the enemy 5, then obviously you TP in if you have TP. But once you see them, then you can walk up and pressure as much as you want. So it's literally a dance back and forth. If you see X, you can do this. If you don't see X, you can't do that and allow your team to move up. That's the good thing about like winning League of Legends is no matter what you do, there's always a perfect way to play the game when you're ahead in the game, so that you can slowly move your pressure up and use the minions that you're pushing out because you can push because the enemy team can't contest the wave, and then they react to the wave and you see them killing the minions, meaning that they're on your minion, which is wards by the way too, and then you can move up. And obviously as the red team, just hope that they make a mistake and that you can capitalize on it. So right here, red team should be looking for the Tryndamere in top lane if there was proper lane allocation, and look to snipe him out, give up the bot tower, even potentially bot inhib, which is fine for the Tryndamere kill. Reset, and then look to try to clear waves again. But that's the main objective here. So the setup is Tryndamere top, 4 core bottom lane. Blue team, push out mid. And once the enemy team reacts to the mid wave, you move in as a team for vision. So right here you see Ornn, right? You're fine. You can move in as a team and establish vision as a team. Right? And then you see Yasuo Thresh, you can set up all the vision you want in the world. And Tryndamere is pushing top here, probably. And then as the 4 core, you can hit bot lane. Once mid lane was cleared, someone should rotate back mid and clear the wave. And then you basically move up the pressure of all your minions slowly so that the enemy team is choked out and forced to make a bad decision. Like right there, Senna walking up, probably not a good idea. You don't achieve anything for walking there, right? Just walk away, and I guess in this case, just grab the dragon. But basically, the point I want to get to is try to allocate lanes as much as you can in solo queue if you can do it. Like, so let's say the roles were reversed here, right? Let's say there's 2 tanks top. Let's say this Tryndamere is a Maokai, right? You can not go top lane. Does that make sense? You don't have to go top lane because you don't achieve much when you're split pushing in top lane as Maokai. So then that is like the one time I would say it's okay to just 5-man deathball down lanes. Just walk down the lanes and 5-man deathball and siege. But in this case, you're Tryndamere. You should be on the side lane, pressuring. You have the tools to escape. But obviously, play smart. Apply the Ornn logic I taught you guys in mid lane. If you don't see X, don't do this. Until your teammates can move up, because the core can always find out everything that's going on, and then you make your choices from there. All right. And then right here, they just 5-man deathball top, and they eventually get a pick, which happens often in solo queue, and you go from there. During this whole time, what red team should have been doing was establishing vision to look for the pick when the enemy team walks in. So while they were doing the dragon, right here, as red team, you can't really achieve anything by walking into dragon. You're kind of having to give it up at this point. What Thresh and his team should look to do is establish control wards. Sweep this ward, control ward here, yellow ward right here in this area, yellow ward right here, and literally stand here and see if the enemy team face checks. If someone random face checks, like Katarina, that's beautiful. Syndra, Senna, all beautiful face checks. Thresh hook, pop, and then look to disengage. Or if you think you can win, go forward and then go from there. So that's what you want to do in a competitive setting, where if you cannot do X, which is in this case dragon, you do the opposite side play. And then the opposite side play they can make here is set up vision in their top side, because none of the enemy team are on that side already. And again, happens very common in solo queue. you want to be looking to plays like this as a support. So ping your teammates. Like, don't clear this wave. It's whatever. I don't think people would realize, oh, we should wait for someone to react to bot. They're probably just going to walk to top anyways. You get your hook, and then you come back from there. And let's answer a couple questions now. Tomorrow, please, Iron/Bronze. Yeah, for my next stream, if I'm still streaming, I'll probably look to do Iron/Bronze games and focus a lot on the micro in each lane. How do I win solo queue as AD carry when literally every lane ints and I get one shot by everyone? When it doesn't matter what lane you are, if everyone's inting, you have to win your lane on your own. You have to win your lane and try to just carry from there. Like that's a niche, like that's a cliche answer that everyone's always going to give you, but it is very correct. When I'm smurfing, which is looked down upon, because I need to level up my accounts and get it to high elo, so I can play in higher level games for practice, I play to win lane no matter what. I play very selfishly. I take all the resources for myself, but you don't steal camps, by the way, and make your jungler rage quit. You take the resources for yourself and win lane, and then from there, your teammates should generally just follow you and listen to you because you're really far ahead, and then try to carry from there, even if they're all inting. So, yeah, that's a cliche answer that I'm going to give you there for how to win solo queue. Can I climb with Kassadin? Yes, because Kassadin, you naturally lose lane anyway, so you can just play slow and just wait for 16, but you need to make it very clear to your jungler, hopefully you're duo queuing with a jungler, that you cannot help with anything that happens in the jungle. If he gets invaded, you are giving that up. If he's going for a scuttle crab play, he is giving that up. As the Kassadin, you can't do anything at all. You're really useless early on, so you need to make that very clear to your jungler, and so he doesn't fall too far behind off of it. So he can only fall behind off of camps instead of dying. What is the best way to climb as support in Platinum? Apply all the concepts I talked about earlier in the custom game and try to play champions like Pyke and Bard and Thresh. How to improve map awareness? I'm pretty sure it's coming up in a video from ProGuides, but for map awareness, for the first 5 minutes at least, you should know exactly where the enemy jungler is. There's enough times like you've probably played enough games now to recognize that junglers do X amount of camps, make one gank probably, and then they reset, and then they go bot side at around 4 minutes. So you should be able to know generally where the enemy jungler is for the first 5 minutes of the game without even having a single ward on the map. All just from seeing where the enemy team leash, which is usually bot side. So you need to think about that. And obviously there's going to be some outliers where they'll do some random path where it's like red to mid, and then they'll do some like from mid to like gank your jungler or something. That stuff happens. But generally it's pretty normal, the paths that they take. How do you deal with inters who blame it on you? Another cliche answer, you mute them. They're not going to help you improve. Like, they're not going to help you become a better human being. Just mute them, move on, and just play the game and focus on what you can do for the rest of the game, even though the game might be over, to try to, improve. If the game's over, try to improve on your mechanics in team fights. Just do what you can and see how much you can output. Again, cliche answer, but that's the correct answer. How to stop your team going 0-6 while your bot lane goes even? I'm assuming you're jungler. As a jungler, the way I try to get my teammates ahead before they can get behind. Does that make sense? I try to make it so it's hard for them to lose their lane unless they're actively trying to lose their lane as a jungler. So I try to usually do 3 camps, maybe 4 camps, and then gank top lane to try to get him a kill, or I'll take the kill at least. You should be taking the kill, by the way, when you're jungling, and hopefully that gives him a slight lead that he can just stay alive with, and then you bring that lead elsewhere to impact another lane, and then you guys see that snowballing effect. Oh, it's just support and your mid and top goes 0-6? Then you try to win lane. I already discussed it earlier. You just try to win lane, do what you can to win lane, and make aggressive plays. Like this Thresh in this game that we just watched, he did a really good job of just flash flaying, flash hooking, like just finding these random out of position like enemies and just setting up the plays for his teammates to follow up on. Who's best at Thresh in the world? I'm just gonna give you the classic answer. My man, Mad Life. I feel like I have bad macro. How can I make better decisions? I discussed a lot in today push, vision, push, execute, where you push out the wave so that you can see the enemy react to the wave. You get the vision because it's safe now because you see them reacting to the wave. And then you push another wave and now you execute with your vision. Execution can look like anything. There's infinite things that you can do for execution. And that's what distincts each like LCS team, like G2 from everyone else, like on which team's like the best. And how fast they can execute these push vision push execute, because like a team like G2 or FPX, they apply the push vision push execute strategy I'm talking about simultaneously, all the steps like at the same time. That's why they're so fast on the curve compared to other teams. How many people in game should have yellow war trinket? 2. AD carry has blue. Jungler has sweep, support has sweep, and then top laner has yellow, and mid laner has yellow. Mid laner grabs blue if you guys can't ever face check Baron for some reason, and you guys just need random Baron vision at random times in the later game. Is there going to be stream about mid lane? I can probably talk a lot about mid lane. There's a lot of like ways that you can use your priority because you're the central part of the map. So there's actually like 8 different things that you can do if you can get priority in mid lane. Do you think supports are taking over the game? I don't like saying like one role can take over a game. I think any role can take over a game. You just have to know how to play that specific role. That's why I'm not a fan of saying, oh, jungle is weak right now, AD carry is weak right now. I don't think a role is ever weak. I think that whatever role you're playing, you can always make it strong if you understand how to play that role and do it to its fullest effect. Alright, let's do one more question, and then we'll call it for the day. Man, Katarina, an Ornn doing the damages here. Alright. Do you keep red trinket if you have Umbral Glaive? Yes, you do. I'm assuming you're playing Pike, so yes. You generally... You don't have to let the Umbral Glaive proc first to use the red trinket. Don't be afraid to use your red trinket first. Because red trinket can see enemy shadows when you enter bushes and you can instantly run away. But Umbral Glaive doesn't allow you to see that, I'm pretty sure. So then you'll face check the bush and you're probably dead. So don't be afraid to use red trinket first if you're face checking to areas with Umbral Glaive. Is it recommended to build Pike in a tanky fashion in order? Yeah, go Aftershock, Fonts of Life, or Demolish. Whatever the third tree is, you can do whatever you want. Probably Bone Plating. Not Revitalize, Unflinching. And then you want to build Targon item, Boots Mobility, Umbral Glaive. No, you don't want to build tanky at all, actually. You can go Dead Man's Plate if you want to get comfortable with its mechanics after Umbral Glaive. But mostly you want to build Umbral Glaive and then probably another AD item. I will answer this final question and we'll call it. How do you live life? How do I live life? I live life with an open mind. I like to tackle things with a open perspective and just be ready to see new things. Like, let's say someone like has a different perspective, be open to listening to it, and you can disagree, you can agree, either or. And overall, like ever since I started doing that, when I moved to college 5 years ago, I'm just a more happy person in general. Like, I don't like being angry all the time. Sure, there'll be some disagreements and arguments, but overall, as long as you're moving forward to become a better person, better player, I think that that should be something you should be proud of, and you can continue to move forward living life like that. But that is all for today. I don't know if I'll be streaming soon, we'll see. But my name is Tony Chow, also known as Saskio. the Yumi guy, the collegiate guy. I'll be ending the stream there. You guys can check me out on Twitter, twitter.com/SaskioLol, Twitch. All the clips are there. I'm gonna head it now. Have a good day, guys. And I love you guys.